Hey y'all, it's Mary, and this is Mary Catherine Loves Cats, and welcome to my channel. I received an email from the company called History by Mail, and they asked me if I would be interested in showing y'all some of what they do. And I was like, yeah, I have seen a channel or two do this. My friend Jessie Miller Unboxings and More has opened some of these, and they're very interesting. Super interesting. This is just very different than what I usually do, but I just am excited to show it to you. This is, all right, here's the letter that I received. Thank you for taking the time to review History by Mail for a YouTube unboxing review. And then there are enclosed are 5 samples, and they're really interesting. It'll take me a while to get through all of them. I'll show you, and there's just a lot to read about. It's very interesting. Each month, History by Mail subscribers receive an envelope containing a replica of an historical document. And then it says, additionally, each letter comes with a document explaining the context, okay, Blue, of the historical letter, including its author, the recipient, and relevance to the events of the time. When necessary, transcripts are also provided for handwritten letters. And this is by Ari Siegel, who is the founder of History by Mail. Okay, Blue. So Ari Siegel says, I love history, perhaps because each time I encountered history, it seemed to be real and alive. And I grew up hearing war stories, and there's a whole a bunch of information on the website, which I will put below. It is historybymail.com, very easy to find. And they also have another website that is historiccartoons.com. So just a lot to look at, a lot to go through. So it's one day I went to an exhibition at the Library of Congress in Washington, D.C., and there I saw fascinating documents that had been recently discovered while scanning the Library of Congress archives. And just thousands of boxes of historical documents were found. So the documents I found at the Library of Congress were captivating, especially the handwritten letters from the U.S. presidents. While looking through them, I came to a realization learning about history is so much more exciting when learning directly from primary documents. So I think that helps a lot of people when they're learning to have physical things in their hands, or to see pictures and things like that instead of just reading in a book. A lot of people do better with their learning. And that there's like I said, online, there is a letter from Ari Siegel, the founder and CEO. And History by Mail is a monthly subscription service that has reproductions of historical letters and documents. Each letter comes with a separate document I'd already told you that, explaining the content of the letter. History by Mail makes an excellent gift for history buffs of all shapes and sizes. And y'all, I gotta tell you, I am not a history buff, but this is so exciting. I've looked through some of these, and it's just exciting. And I was reading one of them, and before I knew it, so much time had passed, and I didn't even know it because I was enjoying it so much. These letters are curated with care from the best archives in the world. Each document accompanied by context pages telling relevant details surrounding the historic event, and high-quality graphically designed replicas with high-quality envelopes and paper. And they're perfect as a keepsake, learning material, or collectible items. And I think this is just as a fantastic gift with Father's Day coming up, with kids getting out of school for the summer. It'll keep them busy. For kids, for graduates, to take with them when they go to college or something, to have something to do. They're really cool. They also have a subscription that is a U.S. holidays year-long subscription, and that comes with or without a Christmas subscription or Hanukkah. So that is, you can get that separately from this monthly subscription, and it's $8.99 for the month. $8.99. Now, if you buy it by 6 months or 12 months, you'll get a discount on the pricing. So let me show you what it consists of. It's just fascinating. I'm fascinated by it. It makes history tangible and exciting. Okay, so these are my envelopes. I have 5. They sent me 5 samples, okay? And I have letter from Annie Oakley to President McKinley from 1898. And then up here, the return address is History by Mail's return address. I have the check for the purchase of Alaska from 1868. Pardon me. I have Eisenhower's Order of the Day and Sketch of D-Day Platoon Leader, 1944. I have the police report and bus diagram from Rosa Parks' arrest in 1955. And then I have World War I rationing card and nursery rhyme, 1917 and 1918. So let's start with the Annie Oakley. Like I said, this is the one I started with, and I was looking and looking and looking, and like an hour passed, y'all, and I enjoyed myself so much. When I opened the envelope, this is what I have. I have the authentic reproduction of Annie Oakley's letter, and then I have a transcript because I'll show you here in a minute. It's difficult to read her handwriting. And then I have a letter, excuse me, that tells me more about, what would prompt her to write a letter. And, she was very famous from her time. This is two-sided with all that information about her and about what was happening in the time frame that she wrote the letter. So for kids, they may not know who Annie Oakley is. She was a sharpshooter, that much I know. I don't even know everything about her myself. So here is, see, look, I want you to see the paper is like parchment paper. So that's what the paper would have been like when she wrote this. And then this looks like she had stationery made for herself, or maybe even like, what do they call, like, not billboards, no bills, that kind of thing. Like they would post this maybe, and then you would be able to read a little bit about her. So this is what that is. And then here is her handwriting. And if I put it close, I don't know if you can really tell, but it is difficult to read it, because her hand, because of her hand is just, it's just, it glides a lot instead of curving into the letter. And then also I can tell by the ink quality that she had a quill type pen, and she would dip it in the bottle of ink and dip it in the bottle of ink and then write a little bit and dip it in the bottle of ink, because it's darker and then lighter, then it gets darker again and then lighter. So it is difficult for me to read this. So I'm going to read from the transcript. Okay. So it's transcript of the letter from Annie Oakley to President McKinley, April 5th, 1898. It says HON, which is honorary, WM, I think it was William McKinley, right? Honorary William McKinley, President. Dear Sir, I for one feel confident that your good judgment will carry America safely through without war. But in case of such an event, I am ready to place a company of 50 lady sharpshooters at your disposal. Every one of them will be an American, and as they will furnish their own arms and ammunition, will be little, if any, expense to the government. Very truly, Annie Oakley. Now, this is 1898, so I don't know if it was frowned upon or what. I never heard about these ladies being in battle or anything. So, but I do believe, based on this letter, that this was the Spanish-American War. And Annie Oakley, based on this stationery or bill that was posted or whatever, it says, a success in all countries, Annie Oakley, America's representative lady shot. For 11 years next to Buffalo Bill, the attraction with the Wild West, the wonder and talk of the American exhibitions, London, 87, Paris exhibition, 89, Horticultural exhibition, London of 92, and World's Fair, Chicago, 93. She traveled the world. Miss Oakley has appeared before all the royalty and nobility of Europe, including Royal Highness, the Prince and Princess of Wales, before whom she has given fine exhibitions. So how cool is that? And then her picture is in the center, and then around the picture, it's a star, and it says, Belgium, America, England, France, Spain, Italy, Austria, Germany, Holland, and Russia. So she traveled the world, showing her skills as a sharpshooter. So, and then this portion just tells more about her background and the war and that type of thing. Annie Oakley was one of the most famous Americans at the end of the 19th century and is considered by many historians to be America's first female entertainment star. Oakley was a sharpshooter and exhibition shooter, performing in travel shows around the world. As President William McKinley deliberated whether to declare war on Spain, Annie wrote the enclosed letter to the president, volunteering her services and the services of 50 female sharpshooters in the event of a war, each of whom would bring their own arms and ammunition. And then it goes on. This is just so interesting. And, you know, Annie Oakley is before my time. Well, I mean, of course, 1898. I'm not that old. But even as I wasn't born in the 50s, I was born in the 60s, early in the 60s. But in the 50s, you know, they did a lot of movies and TV shows, and she would be featured in and things like that. So I have seen some real film of her, I believe. Maybe it's not real film. Maybe I'm thinking of movies that were reproduced about her, but so interesting. So that's one letter, and I do believe you get one letter a month. And then I have these other 4. So I can show you quickly. You know, it would take a long time to read all of these to you. But here's the check for the purchase of Alaska. And with this one comes, again, a 2-sided letter. Our note, a 2-sided note about the purchase of Alaska, early settlement, treaty with Russia, Alaskan State Board, and things like that. And you can find a lot of this also on History by Mail's website. And then this is a copy of the check and what it looked like. And it has all this staining, and it, you know, there's a stamp on here, and it looks like there's some bleeding through, like when it was written on, somebody else might have written over it, used it, you know, to write over it and things like that. And it even has the back of the check as well. So it was, it's a little hard to see all of this, but it was sold for, I saw that earlier, I thought, somewhere, I forgot how much it was sold for now. Purchase price, Alaska, of $7.2 million. So you can learn all about that in this letter. And then see, I didn't get to some of these because there just was so much. There is a police report and bus diagram from Rosa Parks' arrest. Very interesting. This one I saw on Jesse's channel, Jesse Miller's channel. And this is 2-sided as well. It's the Police Department, City of Montgomery, dated December 1st of 1955. And then the complainant and Miss Parks, let's see if where she's on here. It talks about that and the offense and how things were back then, and where she was sitting on the bus. There's a diagram, and then her arrest. What's that called when they arrest you? They take your fingerprints and all. They put you through the system kind of thing. And this is her fingerprints and all. So very important things for our children to continue to learn. I don't know if they're learning. Are they learning history in school, y'all? I really don't know. And Eisenhower's Order of the Day and sketch of the D-Day platoon leader. This has in it, this is an actual sketch and a letter from the president, and then more information about it on this separate sheet. So interesting, y'all. I just think that this is something that for Father's Day would be fantastic. I have several friends that love history that would love this kind of thing. World War I rationing card and nursery rhyme. My brother-in-law loves history. I live in an area, I know that every place, everywhere that we have towns and everything, there's some history around the town, of course. Where I live in northern Alabama, some battles were fought here in the Civil War. And when I'm driving to and from work, even it's not far at all, there are placards on the side of the road that'll say, you know, this battle was fought here. And it's very interesting to see all that. And this is what did it say? It was a nursery rhyme. A Little American's Promise. And on the back of that, it talks about it. And that it says home card. Oh, for food rationing. That's a food rationing card. So, you know, what we've been through in our history and how things are so different now, for people to learn and to know And like I know a little bit about some of this, but not a lot. So something like this is just great for anybody. I just think that it's a great way to spend your summer for grandparents to get and share with their grandkids, or share with your children. Send to your grandkids' homes for their parents to teach them, or when I think it's a cool idea to have it come to your house, and then when the grandkids come over and visit, you can sit and talk about it and stuff like that. So I just thought this was so much fun, y'all. And I do have a code to save you 10% on your first order. It's CATS10, and I'll put that in the description. I'll put that in the title as well. And I just want to thank History by Mail for contacting me and asking me if I wanted to do this, because this is not my cup of tea, but it is. I mean, that's what I would, I was like, well, yeah, I'll try it, because I like to try new things. I do like to try new things. But I thought, I don't know how I'm going to enjoy this, if it'll be, because I used to, when I was younger, I used to find history rather boring. And if we'd be watching a historical movie or something, but now I'm more interested as I've gotten older. And also with the changes in our country and things like that has made me want to learn more about it. And so, yeah. This makes history tangible and exciting. That's something that they say on their website, and it's really true. And they deliver this worldwide. Anywhere that you are in the world, you can get this subscription. And I don't know now, you'll have to check with them. It is $8.99 for the month. And like I said, you can get discounts if you get 6 months or 12 months. So they may have, I don't know about shipping, and for if you're around the country, I don't know about all that. So, and then I'm very interested too in that U.S. holidays year-long subscription. And you can, that was at like $79 or so. And if you add Christmas or Hanukkah, I believe there were 12 events through the year that they cover. And then if you wanted to add the Christmas or the Hanukkah, then it was an additional like $5 or $6. So I thought that was really cool too, to share with the children, or just for ourselves. It's just so, I'm fascinated by it now. Thank you so much, History by Mail. I really appreciate this gift, and I hope that y'all like this. And I'll have all the information below how to reach them. They're on Instagram. I believe they're on Facebook too. I'm not on Facebook very much myself. And then they have their website, and their website is filled with information. So go check them out, y'all. And thanks for stopping by, and count your blessings. Bye-bye.